Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal the International. I'm called Morindi. Our top stories. Constables would perish in a separatist attack in Bali, northwest region of Cameroon. Received military honors as the beginning of final journey home. And Cameroon's defense military has described a recent report against the military by Human Rights Watch as unfounded and provocative. And the managing director of the Douala Autonomous Port, Series Go, has been slammed a 6-month suspended jail sentence for reportedly abusing his office. Those were major stories. The details right ahead.
Canal International. Canal International.
5 police constables who perished in a separatist attack on July 18 in Bali, northwest region of Cameroon. Today received military honors in Yaoundé. The solemn ceremony took place at the National Advanced Police School and was chaired by the Delegate General for National Security, Hyson Cha. Tells us more.
Final journey to eternity. 5 young and vibrant police agents who fell at the battlefront in the northwest region of Cameroon. The forces of law and order, first and second grade police constables, Amadou Mamdi Jean, Bikoy Charlie Ivan, Temwa Lewis, Mai Geoffrey, and Obam Vele Frank, all aged between 27 and 31, were brutally killed on July 18 at the T-junction in Bali, Mezam division, by separatist fighters. Their death, a bitter pill for the families to swallow. Today, the brave patriots are decorated in military honors, and a special condolence message from the head of state transmitted to the bereaved families. A solemn moment for the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Bargangele, and the entire police corps, who bids farewell to the fallen heroes. A dark day for their parents, who cry for nothing but the return of peace in Cameroon.
It's a very sad day. Geoffrey was full of life and ambitions. He was very serviceable in the family, and I think the only consolation is that he died in the service of the nation. And I just hope and wish strongly that his death will bring peace to this country.
The depressed parents equally used the opportunity to call on the powers that be to seek a lasting solutions to the crisis and stop the rampant killings in the 2 regions. We say thank you to the government for assisting us at this moment on our children who died at the battlefront. But I'm calling on the government to resolve this crisis. It is long overdue since 2016. It is no longer a crisis when people die every day. It is war. It should be recalled that the killing of the 5 police constables led to a ban in the circulation of motorbikes to and from Bali, a decision from the SDO for Mezam that has equally resulted to a counter ban of vehicles by separatist fighters, a situation that has brought untold suffering to the entire population of Bali.
Cameroon's Defense Ministry has described a recent report by Human Rights Watch against the military as unfounded and provocative. The rights group earlier accused the military for killings, rape, looting, and all sorts of human rights abuses, what the government has described as mere lies. Regina Leketanda tells us more. In its August 5th communique, Cameroon's Ministry of Defense came hard on international rights group Human Rights Watch, describing the NGO's latest report against the army as outrageous and provocative. Army spokesperson Atonfak Nguemosi Research said the defense and security forces did not destroy, rape, murder civilians and carry out lootings as the rights group had accused them in its August 2nd report. Human Rights Watch on August 2nd, 2020, released a report detailing fresh abuses committed by both the army and the armed separatists. The report had accused the Cameroonian security forces of killing 2 civilians, raping a 53-year-old woman, destroying and looting at least 33 homes, shops, as well as a traditional leader's palace in the Northwest region on June 8 and 9, 2021. But the Defense Ministry in their outing regretted that Human Rights Watch is reputed for painting the Cameroon Defense and Security Forces black and continue to support, quote, irredentist movements operating in certain parts of the country, describing the rights group report as unfounded. The army spokesperson equally regretted that the multiple positions taken by Human Rights Watch are only intended to discredit the defense and security forces who are committed as they, quote, accomplish their sovereign missions. The Defense Ministry noted that Human Rights Watch reports comes at a time when Cameroon is resolutely working on the process of effectively restoring peace in the crisis zone. What critics have described as untrue, as there has been a spike in violent scenes across the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, characterized by recurrent attacks on both sides, kidnappings, lootings, and numerous road blockades, stifling the economy of the regions. Regina Leketana reporting there. Now, the senior divisional officer for MESM in the northwest region of Cameroon has announced that a group of persons allegedly working and abating activities of separatist fighters have been arrested and are currently with a Bamenda Military Tribunal for interrogation. According to the Administrator Superscale, who described or addressed the mid-year session of the Bamenda City Council this Friday, added that the men who passed for drivers at the illegal motor park at Bambwe of Four Corners have confessed to spying on passengers and relaying the information for eventual kidnap and demand for a ransom. Here is a reaction of the senior divisional officer for MESA.
Immediately you are inside a vehicle, 6 kilometers after you are kidnapped, because they are there to inform them. If you are not aware about this malpractice, all those who were involved in that type of activities, they have been arrested. Because from Tuba, where 3 corners Bambwe, going to Fundong, that was their main job, kidnapping people every day. And they were arrested on the 1st of August and sent to the military court, the entire executive.
Now, that was a senior divisional officer for MESM talking to our reporter Annie Collins in Bamenda. There has been an outcry from some traders at the Bamenda Bean Market caused by outbursts of sewage from toilets for some time. And now they say the market officials should respect their own part of the bargain by regulating drainage, the storage tanks, when they get full. The details in the following story.
Traders around the toilets and septic tanks at the Bamenda main market have called on municipal authorities to regularly drain the sewage and spare them of respiratory and other diseases. After several complaints about the pungent smell emanating from the overflowing septic tanks fell on deaf ears, the traders resorted to the local press a few days ago, and on Thursday, August 5, their efforts paid off when the tanks for urine were emptied.
It's too much. There is no way for us to sell when customers can't do runs away from us, because a customer cannot come and stand here and take this stuff nonsense.
When they are flushing the toilet, they think the waste come out, so that's how it's dirty all over. It's contagious.
We want the council to take care of it because it is our responsibility. We pay our tickets
like business people, we pay our shirts, and we think that it is the responsibility of the council to come and keep the toilet clean.
It is hoped that the solution will be long-lasting.
No, that is the best permanent solution. Because if the safety tank is full, they cannot use it. So it's only better that we drain it. If we don't drain it, they cannot use it. So we have to drain it so that there is a permanent solution.
The rectangular toilet building itself has been covered by clusters of makeshift market counters, has 6 toilets and 2 urinals with a human traffic of hundreds of users a day. The oozing human waste and the disgusting stench pulled some traders to close their shops for some days.
We now take you to the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where wildfire is said to have razed down a church and a carpentry workshop at Kolbong, a neighborhood. The cause of the fire is not yet known, as we hear in this story with Heinsen Cha.
Christians of this church woke up this Friday morning only to see the ashes of their church building ravaged by fire. Owners of this sophisticated garage in deep shock, cars, motorbikes, and the entire garage chopped off by the heavy flames. The fire, which broke out at about 2 a.m., equally had no pity to this carpentry workshop and the nearby sawmill, all totally engulfed. We are at the Nkwabang neighborhood, Yaoundé. The victims, this Friday morning, in deep misery.
Yesterday, we closed here at 10 o'clock. When we have to reach the house, they call us that the garage has taken fire. Started burning. The time that we want to reach here, there's a fire burning. You see, even the cars have already burned. The misery, the blank place is all on fire. Même the church, there was a church here on fire.
All attempts by the victims to secure some of the burning elements yielded no fruits.
There were so many vehicles. There's some that we have removed from the garage, but there's some that we cannot remove, but because the vehicle they cannot move, and that pickup down there, the pickup started to move very well, but there was too much heat.
Informed of the fire incident, the elements of the firefighting brigade rushed to the scene, but victims lament the water wasn't enough to put off the flames. They had to go searching for more to remedy the situation. The cause of the total damage is yet to be determined.
The managing director of the Douala Autonomous Port Series Ngo has been slammed a 6-month suspended jail sentence for reportedly abusing his office. The Littoral Court of Appeal on Thursday found Ngo guilty in a case filed by Canal's company, which had accused him of charging arbitrary fees on his products in violation of the 2015 agreement between the company and the Douala Ports. The Douala Port Management Director has also been fined a sum of 1.7 million francs CFA alongside another 3.3 billion, which he will pay. Canal's CEO Nassar Bohati. We'll come back to that in our subsequent editions of the news. The advisor and defense lawyer of Eric Christian Anya has refuted accusations of homosexuality levied upon his client. He says the audio sounds and screenshots and of Gaye Songe published that his client is in a relationship with her husband is all fake. The details with Beatrice Ngamu.
Eric Christian Anya denies all posted about him. The audio sounds, screenshots, messages accusing him of being a homosexual. The early morning animator of state-owned television, represented here by one of his advisors and lawyer before the press, denies all.
Mr. Eric Christiania is not a homosexual. No element shows the truth of the issue. The person I represent does not know them. It is purely a setup.
He adds that the woman, Gael Songwe, accusing him of an out-of-natural relationship with her husband, is suffering from psychosis, a mental disorder. The postings and all, a kind of absurd complot, set up, orchestrated by background distractors to tarnish the image and popularity of this former Tam Tam Weekend presenter. Barrister Calvin Job reassures reporters that there is really nothing to write home with from all that was set and published. Adding, complaints to that effect has been deposited Thursday morning at the Parisian region, where the said Gahel Songwe resides. Eric Christian Nya will be represented there by barristers Marie-Claude Ejang and himself, Calvin Job. Homosexuality should be recalled here that is punishable here in Cameroon with prison terms of 6 to 5 years.
And the borrowers in Mbangante in the west region of Cameroon are preparing the 27th edition of the International Indigenous Peoples Day. They met with the Minister of Social Affairs for recent details in the following story.
This is the Bagante in the west region of Cameroon. It is multicultural. 35 kilometers away from the mainland is the Mbororo settlement grassfield by the United Nations as indigenous people. The Mbororo of Bagante, just like their counterparts, face the same problems that of marginalization.
Talking about the Civil Status Center, after establishing birth certificate, names are being exchanged and sometimes not well written, and the person might not recognize his or her birth certificate.
In prelude to the commemoration of the International Day of the Indigenous People, which will come forth on the 9th of August 2021, the regional delegation of the Social Affairs for the West region is busy with the preparative phase, with focus on the difficulties faced by the Mbororo community. We have taken into consideration the basic needs of this population to make it comprehensive that they have issues which need to be taken into account for the development of the country.
Now we talk politics. Mobilization is high among CPDM party militants ahead of operations to renew basic organs and specialized organs of the party. This starts tomorrow all over the national territory and will end on September 30. It is a period marked by frustrations, intimidations, as we hear in the following report with Beatrice Ngamu.
Moments of hustling and bustling within the ranks of the CPDM party as operations to renew party organs effectively kicks off tomorrow. The circular letter from party national president set the guidelines for the operations. Paul Biya, last July the 8th, prescribed discipline, loyalty, engagement through militantism for a successful election. This in the youth, women and men wings of the ruling CPDM party in all 360 sections all over the national territory and 17 abroad. A kind of scheming to prevent conflicts of any sort typical during this period among the militants. The electoral campaigns will be in dignity, mutual respect and friendship against all that can lead to verbal wars, defamation, intolerance, exclusion, tribalism, stigmatization, sectarianism, display of riches, and corruption. Tomorrow, Saturday, August the 7th, 2021, is the kickoff of the operation that will run till the 30th of September this year. The guidelines notwithstanding, there is need for special attentions as far as the Northwest, Southwest, and Far North regions are concerned, where insecurity is rife and has found a resting place there. But party officials says all the cells, the base, subsections will hold the operation. But the difference will be in the method, as it is not classic. Despite the war, the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement Party is determined to deploy all over the national territory, especially as they are certain of their mastery of the situation. This also, as aspiring candidates, must be up to date with their financial situation in the party before going out to campaign.
Now, one of the ways to get Cameroon ready for the upcoming African Cup of Nations is to strongly fight against urban disorder, which is on a steady rise in major cities. The Yaoundé City Mayor has unveiled some repressive measures to render Yaoundé clean before the football fiesta, as we hear in this story with Heinzen Chia.
6 months to the African Cup of Nations, urban disorder still at the optimum in the city of Yaoundé. Time for the city mayor, Luc Messi Atangana, to embark on serious measures to render the nation's political capital befitting before the soccer event. These are a fleet of taxis seized by the city council from drivers with broken headlamps, damaged windscreens, and doubtful colors. The owners of these taxis can only retrieve them after putting them in good shape. This is just one of the many actions put in place to give Yaoundé a facelift before the Total Energies African Cup of Nations 2021. The initiative will equally seek to demolish some unwanted business sites set up by traders. A special demolition move announced for the Mesamundongo Road Junction, Yaoundé 4 Council, the route leading to the Yaoundé-Simalen International Airport. Mad people within the city to be tracked and given special medical attention. We have already started retrieving mad people from the streets in the city of Yaoundé. We identified them with their families. We are taking them off the public to treat them. The drive to restore order within the city of Seven Hills will move from the sensitization phase to a repressive stage with sanctions for defaulters.
And thanks so much for watching this edition of the news on Canal the International. But don't go away, for we'll have news in the French language at exactly this hour. As for me, we'll be back on Monday.